What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are back at Webster Hall, and after 3 long years, we return with Logan Mader of Machine Head and Once Human. Thank you for being here today, man.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's so awesome to have you here. So, Burn My Eyes is now 25 years old. You're doing a 25-year anniversary tour. I mean, looking back just 25 years ago, how do you look at this record now?
Um, they grow up so fast. No. um, I mean, the way I look at it now is it's pretty special and unique. I mean, I'm just like super lucky that it even matters today, and that the timing worked out where we could do this tour, and that I was able to be a part of it. It's pretty emotional and like pretty big milestone in my life as far as things that are awesome in life. This is one of the most important things, and now to get to relive it is pretty surreal and weird, I guess. You know, most people don't get to do that, and I'm aware of it, and I'm super grateful and just stoked, and it's just like all good vibes. Yeah.
I've noticed, I was 1 year old when this record came out. Like, people are growing up with this record, and when you see on how people really connected and resonated with this record, I mean, does that change on how you looked at yourself as an artist?
No. It just reminds me, though. It makes me aware, like, wow, that really did have a big impact on a lot of people, and I can see it now. And I knew it did then too, but you know, the fact that it still does is pretty awesome. And it's like I'll see people my age come into our shows with their teenage kids, and the kids are wearing Machine Head shirts that obviously they weren't even born, and they're into it, and so that's something super unique. And I didn't, ever think about that until I got out here and saw it.
Yeah. I mean, even though it was such a long time ago, I've always thought that this record really was like, to me, I put it in the big four of 90s metal, along with Typo, Pantera, and either Fear Factory or Sepultura, not sure. But like, I thought that, Davidian was very different from a song like Realize, 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 or stuff like that. Like, was going back in the songwriting, was there a preconceived idea in how you wanted Burn My Eyes to sound, or were you and Rob kind of like improvising in a way?
When I came in, it was the beginning, but Rob had a few songs written already, and he had a pretty clear direction of where the band was going to go creatively. It had a sound, and it had something special to it. So when I came in, I did my best to be myself, but also to fit alongside what he had already, the foundation he had laid with songs like Death Church, Blood for Blood, and Block, which was called Fuck It All. I think those three were all done before. Yeah, those three were done when I joined. And then songs like Old, I participated in the riff writing with Old and Davidian and Nation on Fire, A Thousand Lies. Yeah. Oh, Death Church. Did I say Death Church? Yeah, that was. Yeah. So, yeah, and I guess it worked. Chemistry wise, it worked, and I brought some really cool riffs to the party. Yeah. And so, well, we didn't know. We didn't know what the fuck. I mean, Rob knew. I mean, he told me when I first talked to him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I think this is going to be big. It's going to be big." And I was like, I believed him for some reason, and he was right. I mean, but nobody would have known it could have been as big as it was, and it's just, I guess, lucky thing.
Now, obviously, 25 years later, you would play with Soulfly, you would work as a producer, and now, of course, in Once Human. Do you execute these songs live maybe a little bit differently now than how you did back then, or even just on the album in general?
No, we stay true to the album. That's the protocol, and that's why would we? Oh no, I mean, there's a couple of different like endings of songs that are the live version of ending a song instead of a fade out. Obviously, we can't like do a fade out like in Davidian, so there's an ending there. There's a couple, but yeah, the arrangements, the riffs, everything is true to the album. That's what we're paying tribute to.
And like, one thing I was curious about is like, did maybe this album give you an idea on how you were able to bring your own mix into Soulfly and Once Human, and doing the Metal Gear soundtrack and all that stuff?
Well, it's kind of ground zero for me as a musician. Is Machine Head was the first band I played in. Before that, I was just playing guitar in my bedroom, like writing Bay Area thrash metal riffs, and just that, So that was really the beginning of my musical life, my guitar life. Soulfly just was, I just worked there. I didn't have anything to do with creative or, I mean, the only recordings I'm on are live recordings with Soulfly, and that was a short thing I did for about a year. But beyond that, becoming a producer and then a songwriter and collaborator with other projects, it's all the same. I knew that the experience of being in the studio with Machine Head for the first time, making a record, like with a real budget and real producers in a real studio, that it really resonated with me, and I enjoyed it a lot. I looked forward to doing it again, and I think that's when I got the urge to become a producer and like get into engineering and all the technical end of gear knowledge and the science of recording and stuff.
Yeah. What gear are you using when you're playing live, if you don't mind me asking?
What, with Machine Head?
Yeah.
It's a secret.
It's a secret, huh?
Yeah.
The secret arsenal.
I mean, there's tube amps running for the main tone with the cabinets running live and one mic on the cab, and then about 10 or 12 stomp boxes that are all controlled by a Bradshaw system, like a MIDI foot switcher, which my guitar tech switches for me. I don't even have to like dance on pedals. It's just pretty awesome. Yeah. And he's always like right on the money with it. And then there's another thing for the clean tones, and yeah, I mean, the rest of, yeah.
So the world will never know how they can get the perfect Burn My Eyes guitar tone. They have to.
Nope. I mean, no. The Burn My Eyes recording tone, that's been talked about. I'm not going to, and it's not as elaborate as what we have live now to get what's happening now. But it's pretty similar, actually, to, yeah.
And the final question I wanted to ask regarding, the Burn My Eyes tour is, in a way it was kind of answered, but, every artist grows and we all go through so much. Rob is obviously completely different now than he was in 1994. I'm sure you are. And so playing, does this feel like you're playing like back in the 90s when Burn My Eyes came out, or is it like a different like experience playing this now as opposed to back then?
Well, it's got some of that, what I felt back then, but also a whole other thing, which is obviously like where we are now in our lives, and the fact that we're doing this now, it could never feel the same as the first time, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's making sense, but
it doesn't. It feels like the first.
Yeah, you can never really. I would say like it's kind of better, the feeling now, just because I don't know, because I can look back and I can remember and celebrate those days, and also really appreciate these moments that are happening right now. Like, holy shit, how did this happen? So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Logan, thank you so much. We're going to talk some Once Human now. But everybody, Logan Mader of Machine Head and Once Human. We'll see you next time on Heavy New York. And remember, let freedom ring with a shotgun blast.